Hey everybody, welcome back to Planescape Torment.
Welcome back to the city of Sigil, apparently.
I will always call it Sigil.
Yeah, man. I mean, a sigil is a thing, right? As far as I know. Anyway,
Sigil.
Here we are. We're in Sigil, the capital city of Planescape. Yeah, okay. So last time we spoke to this dude here, Reekwind. We were kind of running out of time, so we had to sort of cut it short. But there's at least one more thing that I want to talk to Reekwind about. But before we get into everything, I did want to kind of talk about our process here and say that for today's episode, we're just going to try something different. I'm going to just kind of run the game. It's been a little bit of a little taxing on Matt to kind of just make him do everything and me just click around on the screen a lot. So we're going to kind of do it like we do our Sierra Saturdays, where I kind of run the game and Matt can just focus on being an awesome storyteller. So here we go. Back to Reekwind.
Reekwind spots you as you approach, bobbing his head eagerly and staring at you with his huge eyes. As you near him, you are again struck by the smell of urine and feces that surrounds him. Greetings, Reekwind. I have some questions for you. Questions! Reekwind hunches over, regarding you warily with his huge eyes. Answers!
Nice.
I'm missing my journal. Have you seen one? Reekwind breaks wind, then scratches his arms. He thinks for a moment, then shakes his head. No journal. No journal have I seen. I had some other questions for you. I'd like to hear a story. Tell you a story I can, I will. But 3 coppers must I see. His face splits into a smile, and his reeking breath hits you like a hammer. Very well. Here's 3 copper. He takes the copper, gums it, and then to your surprise, he swallows it. Best purse there is, belly. He gives a reeking wheeze. A story. He smacks his lips, scratching his dirty rags.
All right, so what I'm trying to accomplish here, and actually I kind of want to talk about why we're going back to Reekwind and sort of doing these things. So over the course of the last couple of episodes that we have played, we sort of established that we're planning on doing a pacifist playthrough. And in order to do that successfully, we're going to need a shit ton of experience, right? We're going to need to level up, despite the fact that we're not going to be fighting much at all. There will be some fighting that will happen, but a lot of that will probably be left to our companions as we go and get them. But we're going to need XP so that we can kind of raise stats and things like that as we go.
That's fair.
So, yes, I did some of the math. I just kind of looked up where we've been so far and kind of some of the things that we passed by. And I noticed that we have left somewhere in the range of about 22,000 experience on the table.
Oh, God. Okay.
So we're going to kind of go back. We're going to double back a little bit and find some of the things that we have missed to date. One of the things is we can, while we're having this conversation with Reekwind, we can end up telling him the story of ourselves.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm going to try and find that thread of conversation. Worst case scenario, that's 1,000 experience that I will lose, but because I don't want to waste too much time talking to someone that we were talking to like all last episode.
Right.
But yeah, so I'm going to wait for him to choose a story. Okay, so this is the story of Ignis.
This is the Ignis story. Okay.
Yeah. Other questions? Can you tell me about this area? Someone named Farad. Okay, let's go with this.
Can you tell me about where I could find someone named Farad? Reekwind suddenly hunches over and leers at you. He walks around you for a moment, dragging his leg as if lame. A king! A noble tale, a tale I can tell, but 3 coppers must I see.
I kind of wish that I could really just say, hey, I just paid you 3 coppers and you didn't really tell me the story, but
I know.
Here we go. Yeah.
Reekwind remains hunched over, staring at you. Once a man of respect, Farad was a man of goals and position. all became nothing, turned to air. Requin squints and then breaks wind, filling the air with gut-churning smell. Turned to air and stink. A liar, a cheater, a man who twisted law Ferret was. He hunches over as if writing on a desk. He writes for a moment and then stops, afraid. Then, one day, he found that he had twisted himself. Such a liar he had become that when he died, he was to go to a horrible place. Requin shakes his head sadly, then hunches over again and looks wildly in all directions. Ferret would not accept it. Would not. He had cheated others. He would cheat his fate too. He read, dug in books and consulted seers. Requin stalks back and forth, his hands over his eyes as if staring off into the distance. And they told him that only in trash could he find which would let him cheat his fate. Requin breaks wind again and then gives a reeking cough. Perhaps they lied.
Updated my journal.
Requin stands up stiffly and then begins to fling off imaginary clothes. With every piece of clothing he throws away, he becomes more hunched. Ferret threw away his position, his goals, and took up a new title. Requin stops and then leers at you. He claws at his rags, shaking them. And became a king of rags. He would rule the trash, have his subjects search it all, and find that which he needed. He shakes his head. He looks even now. Do you know where I can find him? Requin shakes his head. He lives amongst rags and trash. There, you will find him. Find him. All right, what else are we going to ask this guy?
I think, can you tell me about this area? I think we have to exhaust all of his story options, basically. And
all right.
Like, I don't have anything else to tell you, so.
Let's do it. Can you tell me about this area? The hive. A tale I can tell. I will. But 3 coppers must I see. He smacks his gums together and snorts like a pig. Spy a word. He points to his left at the charred alley
of dangerous angles. We've already done this story.
We have.
Yeah. Okay, flames fire, how the fire start, the story of Ignis, very well, here's 3 copper, blah blah blah, we're throwing away so much money.
That's cool.
Yep.
When we don't need equipment to fight.
That's true, we don't need to buy any gear right now. Good. We've talked to that, we learned that he's just gonna... Alright, well, I'll figure that one out later, and we will be coming back to this area in the future anyway, so it's not such a big deal that we haven't got that particular line of...
I hope you guys liked Requin, because that's like a good solid 30 minutes of him over the last couple of episodes.
Oh, totally, yeah. It's okay. He's a great fucking character, and I mean, there will be a little bit more of him later. We also do have to break his curse for him.
I'll admit, I really like playing him.
He's fantastic.
He's
now
great.
we're going back to the Mortuary.
Oh God!
As I had mentioned before, when we were there last time, we had you remember those giant skeletons that we wanted to deal with?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're gonna do that first because they're worth about 800 experience each.
Right.
Yeah, and so there's 4 of them, so that's 3,200 experience that we haven't yet got.
Okay, so here's my question:
Should we still continue on with the
pacifist thing?
Absolutely.
All right, fair enough.
I've got this all planned out. We'll be fine.
This cowled figure is hunched by the mortuary gate. His face is obscured by the shadows of his hood. What little you can see is his chin, which is covered with stubble, and what appears to be a foul green and purple rash. The rash seems heaviest around his neck, fading as it crawls up to his chin. Greetings. The figure doesn't budge. There's a moment of silence, then he responds in a high-pitched voice that sounds more suited to a girl of 10 years than a man.
Hi,
Who are you?
Pox, am I? Hi,
What are you doing?
wait for deaders, I? Hi,
Deaders? Corpses? Why?
find a deader, take him through the gate, get some drink. Then again I wait, hi.
Through the gate, why?
A deaders to a dustman with a coppers to a collector. Bring them to the dead, then they give you copper at the gate, they do, hi.
Why do the dustmen pay for the dead?
Streets clean, deaders inside their place. Streets don't stink, dead aren't lost. Keep inside the gate, all happy. Hi.
Is the front gate the only way inside the mortuary?
Hi. Only dead our dustmen go in the gate, they do. You want Pox make you a deader again?
How about I pretend to be dead inside? Could you smuggle me in like that?
Let Pox see you play deader. You play deader good, Pox get you in, hi.
500 XP. Pox watches your performance without a sound. When you get back up, he speaks.
Hi, Pox sell you. You want to be sold now?
Yeah. Hey, we leveled up!
Level up. That was nice and quick. Alright. Remember this, everybody, from 8 episodes ago?
And we're almost out of time.
Gone.
Yep. Hey, no, it's fine. We've
good.
still got a little bit to do before we're done here. So, okay, now that we are back inside the mortuary, good for us. We need to go find zombie 732. This might be him right here.
Alright. 732.
Ta-da!
This doddering corpse has his eyes sewn shut as well as his mouth, and the number 732 is carved into its brow. The threadwork that keeps its ocular cavities sealed looks extremely old. You wonder if the eyes were sewn shut before or after the man's death. You notice he's carrying a huge tome in his hands, as if taking it somewhere. Well, take the tome. You carefully take the tome from the corpse's hands. It doesn't seem to notice. The tome appears to be a book of enchantments and wards. It's filled with diagrams and charts detailing various aspects of the necromantic arts. The book itself is extremely heavy. As awkward as the zombie is, it must be extremely strong.
Right.
Alright.
Great. So that is the one item that we were missing before. The Tome of Bone and Ash.
It was right there, inside the door.
We walked right past it because we were in a hurry.
That's fine.
Yep.
We got it now.
Worn leather-bound tome lists diagrams and charts detailing several minor wards and enchantments. That's the important sort of looking term.
So we need that shit in there. All right.
Particular interest is the section regarding guardians. Apparently, the dustmen animate corpses of fallen giants to serve as guardians for the mortuary. To make them even deadlier, armoring enchantments are woven into the breastplates to help shield them from attacks. Too complex to absorb all the information, but we can use it as a reference when we do what we're about to do.
Woohoo!
All right. Before we do that, however, save our game because bad shit can still happen. But giant skeleton.
We've all used a giant
All
skeleton. I think we've read this before.
Yeah, we have. Yeah. We're going to do the careful thing.
All right.
We're going to examine his armor, study the symbols, and shooby-dooby-doo.
Yeah.
All right. Study the runes. Try and recall the enchantment. So this is the difference. Yeah.
Okay.
See, you suddenly recall that these runes are some sort of warding enchantment. That is the difference because we have now read the book.
Okay.
Boom.
You study the runes for a while, but you can't decipher the enchantment. It looks pretty complicated and you're having a hard time concentrating. Compare the runes in the Book of Tome and Ash. You consult the tome and compare the diagrams to the markings on the breastplate. From what you can make out, the runes are a lesser armoring enchantment, but several skull-shaped runes and spherical tracings along the edge of the armor suggest that several greater necromantic and warding enchantments are woven in as well. Touching the skeleton will most likely cause it to awaken and defend itself. Alright, let's see if we can be broken. Yeah.
We can be broken.
We can be broken! From what you can make out of the tome, it seems the armoring enchantment applies only to the breastplate. The necromantic enchantment allows the skeleton to be raised, but it is the warding enchantment that gives the skeleton its limited awareness of its surroundings. You'd guess that if you were to mar the skeleton's wards, it would interpret it as an attack, unless you blinded it to your presence first. Alright, we only have one thing to do. Mar the runes.
That's the only one it allows us.
Let's do it.
Armoring necromantic warding.
Alright. As you begin to work on the runes...
Yeah, okay, that's wrong.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, okay.
Looks like my skills have increased.
Alright, well, we can level up first.
Let's do it.
Yep. Okay, so we're listed as a fighter right now because we don't have anything else going for us right now. We get a characteristic point and 10 hit points, except... Alright, and that is where we are going to put... So intelligence is super important. Wisdom is also very important in this. But for the purposes of getting this experience, let's go for intelligence first.
Deal.
Alright, boom. Done. Alright, let's try that again.
Alright.
Boom, de boom, do do. Compare the runes. Consult the tome. Why? Show more. There was a show more button. There was a show more button before. Okay, ward first, then work backward to the pattern canceling necromantic, then the armoring enchantment. Boom.
Alright. The work is difficult and nerve-wracking at first, but slowly your mind begins to focus, and the runes begin to unravel beneath your attack. Within minutes, the giant skeleton has been stripped of the enchantments binding it. It collapses, falling to the floor with a crash of bones and a very heavy clanging noise. Damned pile of bones. You wait for a moment, but no one responds to the sound. Moving quickly, you sift through the skeleton's parts on the floor. Most of it's too heavy or too old to be useful, but you discover a piece of the skeleton's breastplate with a majority of one of the broken enchantments engraved on it. You have a feeling that it could prove useful. I'll just take this then.
I couldn't carry anymore, so I had to drop it.
Okay, let's give some stuff to Morte, because we are apparently full up. Give that to him. I'm just going to give him the Sanctum key. Let's just toss the rags onto Morte as well. I don't know where he's keeping them, but yeah, he'll be our book repository and like carry our keys and shit.
I'm down with that.
Yep. Can you? No, he doesn't have any equipment slots. That's fine.
All right.
All right, let's do that same thing to
did,
all of the giant skeletons.
Did you pick it up?
What's that?
Did you pick it up again, or?
Oh yeah, I dropped something there. I'll go get it in a minute. Unfortunately, you have to go through this whole rigmarole every time.
Well, you know, that's fine.
It doesn't hurt. Whatever, it's free. Yeah, that was my scalpel.
Do. All right, so we're gonna get. How many of these guys are there? 4?
There are 4. But yeah, we're basically just doing the exact same thing. So we'll be back next week for our next episode once we're done doing all of this stuff. So thanks for watching, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Have a good one.
Bye. Do.